Super armor is a vital protective wear to enhance any and everyone, aging from the clunky Mark I in 1963 to the modern alien suits that turn dinos into dragons. But what are some of the best super armors to ever exist? Let's go through my list of them, starting with the Omnikix armor. Omnikix is an armor unique to the reboot universe in Ben 10. In Season 4, Episode 1, Summer Breakers, it debuts as Ben finds the fabled Omnitrix key in the pod that the watch came in. The watch opened up and accepted the key, which unlocked a security protocol for all aliens within the Omnitrix, and gave us the first Omnikix transformation, which was 4 arms. Now, the transformation itself was very cool, however, it came with a new power set for the 4-armed Tetraman. This new mode amplifies all of the Tetraman's natural abilities of durability, strength, and speed. It turns this guy who is already a close combat terror into a nightmare. And we can see this all in his Omnikix debut episode. Here, 4 Arms takes on a mechanized construction worker who is in his own excavator kinda mech. After transforming and sort of figuring out what the armor does, the excavator rushes Ben with a drill. Now, under all normal circumstances, this should turn the ever-durable 4 Arms into a donut, but Ben blocks the attack and the drill breaks off like an egg. But that's not all, as Ben decides to go on the offensive. His speed and strength is incredible as he blitzes the robot and disarms it with no effort. However, the villain had a plan, which was to switch targets and exterminate the family of the Tennysons with a laser beam. This is where stuff gets real fun, as Ben discovers a projectile ability of the rocket fists. Those fists end up clutching up the skirmish at the last minute. This fight was an incredible introduction to the Omnikix armor, as it showed off the new power upgrade that it gave to Ben Tennyson, and in my opinion, even rivals Ultimate Aliens. It isn't just a 4 Arms exclusive thing, but these Omnikix armors all follow a very similar principle, by buffing the aliens in every combat stat, while also giving them a new power-up as well. Let me go down the list and give you a few examples. Diamond Head can create diamond clones, Humongosaur can now breathe plasma beams, Shockrock can fly, Accelerate can tap into the Speed Force, Heat Blast can make energy constructs like Guy Gardner, Cannonbolt can build up and use kinetic energy, and Wrath, he's just a lot sharper, plus more claws, bub. This new mode not only served as a great marketing piece for the reboot to sell more toys and make Ben 10 an even bigger multi-billion-dollar franchise, but it also created what I would consider to be the most competitive combat mode for Ben's fights against his main rival, Kevin 11. These suits capitalized on a very fresh power-up that would end up being expanded upon in the movie Ben 10 vs. the Universe, with the Omninaut forms, which are space transport forms. I really like them personally, and I definitely think they are a close second between them and Omni Enhanced from the reboot series. Each of these suits have now ridiculously amped the power of these aliens. However, the main drawback is that it depletes the Omnitrix energy very quickly, so your window for the boost is very short. But in my opinion, you really don't need that much time to put the hurt on someone. But there still is someone who doesn't have a time restriction on their armor like that, and they are heroing all day, every day. One of Earth's mightiest heroes, Iron Man.
Jarvis, fire it up.
Now, we got our first look from this armor from the Earth's Mightiest Heroes series on September 22, 2010. This model of the suit is an iteration on his Mark I, which was clunky and barely functional. This upgraded suit has new functions and abilities, and it gives us a good look at what Iron Man can do. He flies out of Stark Tower at breakneck speeds to engage with a fight against Hydra soldiers and a giant robot. Upon arrival, he wastes absolutely no time, and he hits the giant Hydra bot with some critical damage from his chest laser thing. That basically one-shots the Metal Squid Titan, having this building destroyer fall flat on his ass. However, the Hydra goons still remain, and they are here in droves. Jarvis comes in clutch, doing very precise targeting that launches targeted bombs on their weapons that immediately incapacitate them. So far, the Iron Man armor has shown off incredible travel speed, lethal long-range attacks, precise targeting, and he has
the high ground.
But it's not over though, as a few more of Hydra's goons approach. This time, these are 3 robots. Now this moment becomes a real test of the Iron Man armor, as these Hydra robots are built with his technology, so they have a similar offense and all of his defensive capabilities. This is one of the closer things that we might get to a mirror matchup in this series, which if you're a gamer, you know that this does 2 things. It shows off a lot of each user's skill expression with the characters and their own idiosyncrasies that make the mirror matchup unique. It also gives a full display of what these characters excel at, which is doubled down on by the individual aspect of the matchup, which makes it a lot less boring since you're seeing the two same guys fight. In this case with the Hydra bots versus Iron Man, we're getting to see two separate classes of the same exact archetype take on one another, and it is truly a treat to behold. So this is going to be a real pony show for Stark Technology. Anyways, they're pretty much immune to Iron Man's repulsors, which is his bread and butter, and to make things worse, Tony and his armor are already low on power from their previous assault. So this ends up being a real test of Iron Man's skills with the armor. Tony Stark fights tooth and nail against his own tech and uses his advanced knowledge coupled with raw skill, and because of that tenacity and superior usage of his suit, he is able to beat 3 high quality duplicates of his own technology. Iron Man's armor is a pretty solid super armor, as it gives the user a full list of enhancements, from durability to physicality, and it had the incredible ability to tango with you at close range, using micro attacks with similar targeted assaults, electromagnetic shielding, flight, and my favorite thing, which are his long-ranged repulsor blasts. Not sure if you know, but I love good long-ranged attacks. It gets the job done and keeps you safe. However, there's one guy who has no regard for using long-ranged attacks, and that is Batman and his Batbot.
World's greatest hero for a new generation. The Batman. Saturday mornings on Kids WB.
Now in the Batman series, we had the debut of the Rogues Gallery member, Bane, who in this version has a nerve toxin, basically makes him into this show's version of the Hulk. When he approaches Batman for the first time, he absolutely bodies him, breaking his bones and basically putting him out of commission, which then forces him to build a mech suit in order to take him on. After the grueling process of building a robot with a broken hand, Batman approaches Bane for his rematch. This new suit has a freaking amazing design, but when he goes to tango is where we really get to see the power, as both him and Bane are going at it hand to hand, and the suit has some incredible agility that you could only expect from a regular non-armored Batman, because he's just handling business against Bane and getting in some serious hits. However, when both go skydiving from 200-foot buildings is where we really have a huge turn in the fight, as Bane's durability and combat power are still superior to the suit. Batman uses his ingenuity to actually electrocute Bane's toxin thing, I don't know what this is, but he electrocutes that and it takes him out. But this suit is still incredibly formidable, as Batman, even when he built the mech suit, never really had much of an advantage against DC's Pseudo-Hulk. The Batbot had the full list of enhancements, and it was not made to stay away from the fight at long range like Iron Man's, but this piece was made to wrestle, and it's the most flexible mech that I've ever seen in combat in my entire life, with a little flight capabilities, most likely made to build momentum in battle and deal with aerial combat. These 3 suits are some of my favorite super armors of all time. I have a lot more that I would love to cover, but comment your favorites down below, and maybe I'll do a part 2. Thanks for watching.
My name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive.
Shut the hell up, man, because these powers are a lot more of a problem than what you're letting on. Let me explain.